this is the most technical course I've taken, and it's extremely valuable. And once you put this on your resume, people will begin looking and they'll actually come to you. That's pretty much how it happened with me.
Hey, Michael, really glad to do this interview with you and have you share your story with all the other students. And as always, I'll let you go ahead and get started.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here. So, what do you want to know first?
Yeah, if you just want to share a little bit about your background and how you originally found Course Careers, I think that'd be a good starting place.
Well, I have a background in a lot of factory working, a lot of warehouse working. I'm based in Mississippi, so it's the opportunity. A lot of it is manual labor, and that's where I started. But I knew I didn't want to stay there, so um, a lot of research, a lot of Google searching, and I found your course. I watched every single testimonial. I watched them all, and I was like, I'm gonna give it a shot. And
Yeah.
now I'm working from home.
Wow, look at that. So you're going from manual labor where you found Course Careers, literally watched every single testimonial. Now you're the person giving the testimonial.
All
I mean,
right.
that's a big mind shift uh,
Yeah.
change, isn't it? I mean, from going
Right.
from manual labor, watching all these stories of other people having success in these remote technology careers, to now you're the person who has the remote technology career.
Right. I had to do a lot of self-reflection. I always
Mhm.
knew I was a very intellectual person, but I had to surround myself with people who had different goals. And yeah, it was just
Sure.
a very transformative process.
And when you were doing this manual labor warehouse work, did you go to college and get a 4 year degree?
I actually did drop out because I was in college, but I didn't really see the value of it because what I wanted to do, I wanted to have flexibility and I wanted to have some sort of freedom. And what I wanted to learn was,
Mhm.
the stock market and, technical analysis, but they weren't teaching that. So I didn't see the value in what I was learning. So I was like, I'll just pay my own way. And I've been teaching myself how to, do stocks and everything myself, but I understand I need more capital. So I was like, I
Mhm.
need to take a practical approach to this and give me a decent, well-paying job and use that to actually invest.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I think a lot of people get into the investment space and like seeing all these people make money with investments. But at the end of the day, you need money to put into stocks or into crypto or into real estate to begin with. And if you actually research all the people that are teaching you how to do it, pretty much all of them had some sort of high paying career to start with. And that was their initial foothold into the investment world, where now they got up enough money where they can just live off their capital that they were able to earn from that high paying career. So I'm really glad that you found us. And so you're coming from this warehouse position, you weren't making that good money, I assume, and you dropped out of college. Then you
Yeah.
found Course Careers and you watched every single testimonial on Course Careers. And I mean, at the time, did you think like, because I know a lot of people, they watch everything and they Google Course Careers reviews, story after story about people landing positions, but they still question, they don't think Course Careers is legit. I mean, were you pretty well convinced that like this thing is actually working, or were you still kind of skeptical?
Well, I was pretty convinced that it was working because, I saw people who may have been in worse positions than me and they still were getting amazing jobs. But
Yeah.
not only that, I had to approach this opportunity with there is no plan B. It's only plan A. And I had to just literally put my back against the wall. Like I had a job and I quit it to
Mhm.
actually focus on, just putting myself into a better position as an SDR.
Wow. So you went all in. And how long did it take you to finish? So from the day you enrolled until you finished the course?
It was less than a month. Yeah,
Wow.
I started August the 20 something. like 24th, and I finished September the 12th, I believe.
Gotcha. Yeah. And do you feel like you learned a lot of information during that time period?
Oh, I learned a ton. Like not only just in terms of the content, but just being a better person or a better worker in the corporate world in general. Like it's great course material.
Yeah, it's really the foundation to break into a like an office technical career. Because I mean, you don't really learn this stuff anywhere else. Even if you went to college, most people still don't learn this stuff. It's really just from like your parents or friends who are working in this space. They'll give you some insider knowledge enough to land an internship or something to get your foot in the door. But if you don't have that, it's like there's no guidance. So that's
Right.
where like I find this course to be very valuable. So you went through this course, and let's hear the numbers. How many companies did you interview with, and what was that process like?
So as soon as I finished, I was mass applying. I was applying to a bunch of jobs. The competition is tough, but there is still plenty of opportunities out here. And I applied to probably 100, maybe 150. I really went all in on it.
Oh,
And I probably interviewed with maybe two or three, and I accepted the company that I'm currently with now. And it was
mhm.
like it's one of the best experiences I've ever had. Like interviewing is like completely different to warehouses and factories.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of self questions. You get pretty much a good idea of what to expect in the interview. Like your day in the life on the job is pretty similar to the interview process.
And do you think the course prepared you going into that interview?
Oh, most definitely. The questions that were in the course, they asked on the interview, like to the T.
Yeah, I think like in the course, we teach people exactly like what kind of questions are most common to ask and what they're expecting or what they want you to answer. And usually we're like at least maybe like 6 out of 10. So the majority of the questions the company asks, like we're preparing our students to know exactly like how to answer these questions, what companies are looking for in these answers, and how you can stand out compared to other candidates. And let's learn a little bit more about the company that you ended up taking an offer from. So if you want to share some high levels on like what industry it is, if it's a small company, large company, benefits, pay, if you can share that, just kind of all the high levels.
So I work in a company that sells lead generation software platform for people who want home maintenance done. So it's
Mhm.
basically I'm a matchmaker between service providers and homeowners. Regarding pay, the base is 30K, and you have a potential to make, well, they say their SDRs range in the first year 55 to 65K in the first year, but high performers have a chance to make well into six figures their first year. So my goal is six figures, of course. You get full benefits and everything. Um, yeah, it's that's pretty much it.
Wow. Yeah. So you could probably expect to make around like 60K in your first year then, and it's fully remote, so you don't even need to like commute anywhere.
And they sent me equipment, laptop, headset, mouse, everything.
Wow. How does that compare to your previous job working in a warehouse?
Well, it's definitely a lot less physical work, and it's more so a lot of thinking, which I feel like is more my forte.
hmm And what do you think now that you actually have a career path? Like, I mean, this is just an entry level career. This is a foot in the door. Where now, like every year after this, or really like every 6 months after this, like you can expect to continuously be making more money. What does that feel like?
It feels amazing. Like I feel I'm a very proactive person, so I'm always thinking about the future. And not only am I working for companies that think about the future, they have room for growth. And within 6 months, I see myself at least being promoted twice. So
Yeah.
and they have a clear room for growth at the company I'm in. They have it's amazing. It's hard to put it into words because I'm just used to pushing heavy boxes and you know lots of heavy work.
Yeah, yeah, that's incredible. And like 5 years from now, where could you see yourself now that you are on like a high paying career path?
So my goal is to get into account executive or sales engineering. And I'm mainly looking for small startups. After I get some experience, I want to start, really applying for small startups and yeah, let them become, no, just take them to the next level to where they can actually
Yeah.
sell their company, then walk away with good stock and equity and just keep doing that over and over again.
For sure. Yeah, there's a lot of stories of people who've gotten extremely wealthy by working for these startups and then getting equity in the company and then exiting that company with all of their stock being sold. So I mean, it's incredible how you can get like so rich and wealthy in the technology industry. And there's really no other careers that allow you to do that. I mean, in warehousing, I don't think you can work for a warehouse startup, get equity in it, and then a couple of years later flip that into a million plus. So it's yeah, just incredible.
Yeah,
But
you might
yeah,
have
well, thanks again, Michael. Is there any advice you would give to someone who's on the fence about going through course careers?
don't think about it at all. Just do it because that analysis paralysis that'll just keep you from becoming who you actually really want to be in life or anything. Just this is the most technical course I've taken, and it's extremely valuable. And once you put this on your resume, people will begin looking and they'll actually come to you. That's pretty much how it happened with me. So don't think about it at all. Don't think, just do.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks again, Michael, for sharing your story. And I do think a lot of students are going to get value from it. And there's probably some students watching this who are currently working in a warehouse, and they're perfectly going to relate to this story and can see themselves in your shoes. So thanks again for doing this interview.
Thank you for the opportunity.